Castle Rising, now partly ruined, is an imposing structure in northwest Norfolk, not far from Kings Lynn. Commissioned by William Daubigny II, it was built a short time after 1138, probably around lunchtime then. A couple of centuries later, the place was sold to Queen Isabella, who had recently fallen from power after having been regent in charge of England, whilst her son was young. Isabella, nicknamed the She-Wolf of France, was at one time Queen of England, married to King Edward II until his untimely death. Some suspect that the king was murdered and that she herself was involved. Isabella is often depicted in fiction as a beautiful woman who was prone to be cruel and manipulative. Yet this may not be so far from the truth. Many historians believe that she really was a femme fatale. Devoid of power, she spent her later years in great luxury at Castle Rising. Despite this lavish lifestyle, though, it is believed that she became increasingly bored and frustrated, pacing the corridors and rooms of the great building, exhibiting outbursts of rage and picking fights with her ever more wary servants. There are those who claim that she had become mad with loneliness and powerlessness. Visitors to the upper floors of Castle Rising have witnessed crazed laughter and screams emanating from various locations therein. However, evidence of her hauntings is not confined to the building itself. Local people claim that they have heard unearthly wailing and crying even from outside, sometimes so loud that it rings across the countryside, echoing through field, fen and forest. Inevitably, such activity has attracted the attention of modern ghost seekers who have come to the place armed with an array of detecting equipment, not to mention their own eyes and ears, of course. They have heard the sound of weeping children, disembodied footsteps, and the sound of tapping on windows, which cannot be explained. There have been sightings of eerie mists and shadowy figures, one of which looked like a woman with a wolf at her feet. Many people have witnessed doors opening without being touched, and have reported a strange feeling that someone was malevolently watching them. On one occasion, a lady was being watched, not by a ghost, but by her friend at the opposite end of the room. Suddenly, he saw a grey shadow walk around and then in front of her. At this point, she recoiled backwards with a start. When asked what had happened, she said that she had seen a tall grey man looking down at her, invading her personal space and staring at her very closely. A former custodian of Castle Rising was once present at a paranormal investigation being held there and had a very strange tale to tell about the experience. Whilst the ghost detectives were on a break, he munched on some potato rings as he was keeping an eye on their equipment. All at once, the entire collection of EMF meters became active with readings off the scale. The activity then subsided. For a laugh, he said loudly, "Do you want one?" To which the response was a single flash on one of the meters. He placed a potato ring on the nearest meter, and again there was another single flash. What could all of this mean? Had some paranormal entity been observing them whilst they were enjoying their snacks and perhaps fancied some themselves? Or was there another, more sinister explanation? And what, if any, is the connection between Queen Isabella and the tall grey man? We can only guess.